I am sending you an invoice for the 9,000 boxes of tissues that I went through as I binged part 1 of season 2 of Firefly Lane.
Good. That was our goal.
And so I want to just jump right in. On a sad note, Kate's health. That was really emotional for me to watch.
The rash on your breast is actually a rare and very aggressive form of cancer. You need to start treatment right away.
It was really emotional. There's nobody whose lives have not been touched by cancer. We lost my aunt and my grandmother to cancer. There was crew members who came up to me and told me their stories. So when you're shooting and you become very close with this crew and you're looking into the eyes of those people as you're doing that scene, it was definitely a lot of, heavy days there, that last few weeks of filming.
Is Kate gonna be okay?
Oh, I can't answer that. I can't answer that. You'll have to watch season 2, part 2, which is gonna come out next year.
Okay.
We've actually shot all of it.
Okay. So you know how it ends.
I know all of the things, and but that is something that plays out, through the last half of the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how does this health journey that she's about to go on, how does it shape the next part of season 2?
It really does. It really does, and I think, again, it's such a fine, just threading the needle of how to tell the story, have the balance of what's happening in the 70s, the 80s. We go into the 90s a bunch, and then obviously in the aughts. And that's all I can say because I don't want to give it away.
I know that Kate and Tully are not exactly on speaking terms where we stand present day, but I'm hopeful that as Kate goes on this journey, she will have the aid of her BFF, through it all. Yeah. Should we remain hopeful?
I mean, I always think, that's how I walk through life, is remaining hopeful. There's like the mini cliffhangers that happen sort of throughout the season. So you're constantly oh.
Another big moment that happens at the end of part 1 of season 2. Yeah. We see the girls, well, at least Kate, finally gets to a place where she's like ready to reconcile.
Tully, there! Tully!
Are they going to have that moment of reconnecting?
What I loved about that in the end of the season was as much as has come between them, that when, really hits the fan, she just needs Tully, and kind of obviously everything else melts away, and she goes to her, and then she's not there. I thought so much about okay, what is it gonna be? What could this possibly be that Tully did that is big enough to break this unbelievably unbreakable bond of this friendship? So what could it possibly be that would do that, but that also has the possibility of, them coming back together in the future?
I'm sorry. I am truly sorry.
Why wasn't that apology enough for Kate?
I think it's a big deal, and Kate wants to forgive her so badly because obviously she wants her back in her life so badly, but it was just crossing the line. It was too much. And then on the flip side of it, I think, it was Tully, because of her past and because everything that happened in season 1 with Pat, it just triggers for her the second she hears Mara's voice on the phone, and that she's just drop everything, let's go. I just have to go to her right now, and she forgets about anything and everything else. And I think you really feel for that, and you really see that side of it too. So what I loved about the decision was that it was something that you could really see both sides of it, and relate to both of them and understand both of them and really see where both of them were coming from.
Will things get better in part 2?
There's a lot of challenging stuff we filmed. There's a lot of really fun stuff. There's this show always gets you outside of your comfort zone. You're never safe inside your little box.
There's no safe spaces on Firefly Lane.
Every time you open the script, you're oh, that's what we're doing.
I want to talk about something else that brings a smile to my face.
Okay.
The idea of Tully and Danny maybe getting together.
Have a nice trip to Lula Rose. I'll be thinking about you.
You will?
Yeah. I usually do.
Have we seen the last of those two?
It was kind of I think, unexpected, for Tully's character, just kind of caught off guard, who is this person? And why do I like them so much? And she starts to let her guard down in ways that, she really never has. They still, I think can intellectually spar and have such chemistry and more than anyone else that they have with anyone else in their lives. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we remain optimistic that door is not closed?
Yeah, he continues through, so we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then more good news on the love front. Kate is an engaged woman.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How do we go into season 2? Are we going to see wedding planning? Will we get a wedding?
There might be some planning. There might be some dresses that we got to wear. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know how it's going to turn out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't make me feel good. Because in my opinion, they're end game. I like my Johnny with my Kate. I think they make sense together. They worked through all their issues. They did the hard work, and now you get to reap the benefits. You get to be engaged and hopefully make it to the altar.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are they an end game couple?
I mean, I believe in love. I've kind of hoped from the beginning that they would be.
Yeah.
But you never know, right? So many twists and turns.
I know you can't say a whole lot about part 2 of season 2.
Yeah.
But what is the most exciting question that all the fans have that you're most excited to answer?
How do all of the love stories roll out?
Okay. So we can expect a lot of romance.
You can expect a lot of answers.
Is there one specific storyline that you can tease you're just really excited for the fans to see?
What happens with Kate's journey with her diagnosis?
With her health.
I want everyone to sort of get to see what happens there, and then also just to see obviously the through line of Kate and Johnny and what happens with them.
I mean, my goodness, how is Johnny going to be a support to her as she goes on this very challenging journey ahead?
Yeah, you'll have to see.
We'll have to tune in. Okay. You're good at your job. You're good at signing contracts and staying true to them. On a scale of 1 to 10, how emotional is part 2 of season 2 going to be?
Oh, very.
Like 10, we're tipping the scale?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a 10.
You think it's a 10?
Yeah, I think it's a 10.
Okay. Can you describe part 2 of season 2 in 3 adjectives?
It's funny and it's painful and moving. I was quite moved when I read it. Yeah.
Oh gosh. So even you get emotional.
Oh, I got emotional reading it because you play these characters and you get attached to them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, it pains me because it is such a show that we have really grown so attached to.
Yeah.
But it is the end.
Yeah.
And so for you as an actress going to work knowing we're doing season 2 and it's going to be our last, did it feel different going to work?
Oh,
time?
absolutely. That was definitely, though, towards the end. Like, there was a lot of tears the last week of shooting. And, just sort of, especially the last day, it was so surreal, just knowing that, like, this is going to be it.
Who cried the most?
I think it might have been a tie. I think we all did. And the crew, too. It was special, right? Like, I think it's not every day that you have a job like that, where it's a bit of a unicorn experience where all the pieces kind of come together.
You just called this show, Firefly Lane, a unicorn project.
Yeah.
I can see the joy in your eyes and your face when you talk about it. It's a runaway hit. I have some research here. Over the course of at least season 1, the 10-episode run, it pulled in more than 1.3 billion minutes of viewing, beating out very, very popular other shows. So it begs my question, at least, why is it ending?
Well, I mean, as far as I know, like that was, from the beginning when we had all spoken about it, this is about the number of episodes that it arcs out over. Like it does follow the story of the book. And so by the time you get to the end of the story, like the story is told.
So this was always the plan.
It was kind of the plan. Like we did 10 episodes the first season, and then there was these 2 chunks, and it kind of naturally follows the course of that. So the nice part of that is that it allows the full story to be told. You're not kind of waiting, and then it ends on kind of like a weird note, but it's sad that it's done.
If there was an opportunity to kind of Game of Thrones it and go beyond the books and create a whole new chapter ahead for Tully and for Kate, I mean, would you be interested in extending? Because it seems like you had the time of your life.
I absolutely had the time of my life, and everybody did. Like we all, it was one of those things where like nobody wanted it to end.
Okay, so if there was a chance to extend it,
I mean, yes, of course, but I think this is like the story gets told.